Today, I'm in good company with Torri Webster, fellow podcast host, actress, and social media personality who has built an impressive and dynamic career across entertainment and digital platforms. Torri has developed a strong and authentic connection with her audience, navigating the evolving media landscape with a blend of confidence, creativity, and relatability. From her early work on screen to building her own voice across platforms, she represents a new generation of talent shaping how stories are told and consumed today. Torri, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to In Good Company, my fellow Leo.
Thanks, Jay. I'm so excited to be here. How are you?
I'm good. And I was on Torri's amazing podcast, That Digital Take, it was part of the inspiration for me starting this podcast
I'm so glad.
as well.
This is fun because I don't have to interview today. So I just get to sit back and relax and be like, it's another day in the office, but I don't have to take care of the drama.
Yeah, you're in the hot seat.
Exactly.
I took over.
I'm so excited.
We went pod for pod.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that. But truly, when I was thinking about starting this, I thought about your pod because I feel like we're both in this kind of Gen Z millennial mix of like, you know, we are the consumers, we're the social natives, we're the digital natives. So it's been really great to see all your success.
Thank you.
I feel like we ran in the same circle for a while.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome.
No, I also think it's nice in Toronto, and I think we touched on this when you were on the pod as well, but just the idea that like the Canadian market is so small.
Yeah.
And I think to be able to support each other and just to have like amazing connections in the industry where, you know, you can call someone up and just have a fun little chat or get a favor or get a connection or whatever it might be. And I think we need more of that. Less Alex on Alex drama that's currently on the internet. More Jay Torri support system.
I know. Well, even like, it's so funny, even when I see your collaborations or any ideas you have, I'm like, my first reaction, honestly, is I'm like, amazing, like good for her. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I think you did something with CIBC.
I did.
I was like, this is great.
Yes.
And then I was like, I
really
also want to do this, but for someone else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and
it's like,
I think that's a great jumping off point to in the industry to be like, it's okay to take inspiration from other people, but it doesn't mean that just because an opportunity doesn't fall in your lap that it can't happen for you in another way. Like, I agree. Like, that CIBC project was really fun. It was very like run and gun. We were actually literally in Yorkville running around town, holding mics out to random people being like, hey, like asking for financial advice. And like people were really quite funny.
Yeah.
But exactly, why can't that be redone for, you know, another
company?
Client?
Yeah. It's
can't
really
say their
cool.
name. Competitive. No, I'm kidding. I'm
exactly.
totally kidding. But yeah.
Well, Torri, I mean, I travel a lot. And then there's Torri. Torri travels like nutso amount. Just got back from Coachella, also known as Torchella.
Yes. Yeah, so we do, this is my 10th annual, or it might have actually been my 11th. I'm quite terrible at math, but definitely a decade-long Coachella run. And then, yes, the Torchella tie-in is that it's actually quite hilarious because the whole story came about because of my workaholic tendencies.
Yeah.
But 10 years ago after Coachella, my now fiance, but at the time my boyfriend, he was like, you love Coachella so much. This is like such a fun spirit for you. And then that summer when August rolled around, I had the year before previously had a mentee be on my birthday. I had taken on too many brand collaborations was like just depressed at my birthday, like literally nearly in tears, couldn't enjoy myself, was like posing with the product and was like,
There's like
this.
Tears like streaming down your face.
Literally. And I was like, happy birthday to me. And I think everyone in my friend group realized like, okay, next year Torri needs something that has nothing to do with a brand, nothing to do with work. Let's just surprise her with something.
I love that.
So August rolled around and I walked into this like little cottage in the middle of Muskoka, like very quaint, super cute. And all my friends were there to surprise me. And my partner, he had put up a banner that said Torchella in honor of the fact that I love Coachella.
Yeah.
Anyways, obviously I ran with it. It's been 10 years of Torchella now, but the drama is that I've of course gotten brands involved, and now it's like the most high budget production. It's like this year I'm tying it into my bachelorette party. I'm like, let's go. So their journey to like their attempt in trying to pull me away from work has only made it a perfectly branded moment. So now Torchella, this will hopefully be the last one, but this will be my 30th birthday and my bachelorette. And my final Coachella. I did say this was my finale year. So I'm going into all of this.
No.
We'll see. We will see.
Famous last words. No, I love
famous
that.
Last
That's
words,
awesome. And as deserved. I mean, you worked so hard over
and also
a decade.
just like once you've done it, you've really done it. And then it's also like creating the boundaries around like, you want to make sure you go out on a bang. And I had a great time. And I'm like, I think my work here is done. Yeah.
And on a high note.
Exactly.
You have been in the media landscape for quite some time. I mean, you're turning 30, but like, it's been
I know.
forever.
Yeah, I
Talk
started in
about-
the industry when I was 12.
Wow.
Yeah,
And on screen.
on screen.
Tell
So
me about that. Tell me about auditioning,
Yeah.
getting that call, that sort of
yeah.
first engagement in
Yeah,
media.
for sure. I started actually more in theater and then and dance, like kind of a true like performance background. And my agent at the time saw me do a theater performance at a summer camp of all things, which is again why we have to support the arts and put kids in art programs.
In Camp Rock.
It is because also I would have never found myself in that position to have had an agent see me unless I was having this opportunity.
Right.
So yeah, really grateful that my parents really, supported me and always put me into art programs. And so my agent, who was then my agent at the time, he approached me and was like, hey, do you want representation in film and TV? And of course, my parents thought, oh, wow, who is this creepy man asking to represent our daughter? But then we did some research and he was extremely
Legit,
reputable
yeah.
and very legit. And they were like, okay.
He's like the best in the business.
Truly. And they were like, if this is something you want to pursue, like you have to be pretty serious about it. But one thing about me is like I said, I'm a workaholic. So I, even at 12, was like, put me in coach. And I just started auditioning. And honestly, I just was lucky. And sometimes I think it's just right place, right time. Obviously, a lot of preparation had gone up until that point. I had been studying dance since I was like 5. I'd been in theater performances since I was probably 5. So it was like I had some experience, but no professional experience.
Of course.
But by the time I got thrown into it and I started auditioning, and of course, listen, your first auditions are going to be embarrassing. They're going to be terrible, but then you find a rhythm, and I just stuck with it. And then, yeah, I was just lucky. I booked roles and started working pretty young.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, as they say. Yeah.
Isn't that wild that like the butterfly effect of a summer camp?
Oh,
that's made your whole career.
But the butterfly effect of everything, I think about this all the time, about how many random roads you walk and how many random connections. And just recently, an opportunity landed in my lap through someone that I hadn't even spoken to in a decade. And I was like, what? Like, you forget how people stay on your pulse, or they'll watch from afar. And I think we forget that. Like, people are watching and they are engaging in ways that sometimes we don't know. And then they'll be like, oh, and they think of you and you come to mind. And as long as you have a strong reputation, like, it's so crazy to see how these full circle moments can come to be. Yeah.
Well, I was just talking with one of my other guests, and I wanted to bring this up with you because we're pretty much the same age, and we were talking about how our generation struggles with like patience. Like, I am not patient. I am hot to trot.
Totally.
And there is definite value in that.
Yeah.
And being like,
I agree,
always on the go and wanting the next thing. But, sometimes things take time. Do you feel like you have always been that way as well? Or do you think you've like slowly built something up? Because you've got an incredible personal brand.
I have patience in big ideas. So what I mean by that is, similar to you, I'm not patient in my everyday life. I'm quite like, I'm a Leo. I'm like, let's go. Let's get things done. And I would consider myself an executor. Like, I don't hang around people that don't know how to get something done. Right. I don't like that feeling where people start things and they're left unfinished. That makes me really upset. I find that like, don't bother then. I have that mentality. But when it comes to bigger projects, and I can even use my own podcast as an example, it's like, I feel the success has only come because I got past the point where most people quit. Yeah. And the truth is, most people do quit. And that is also a big part of entrepreneurship and the way that this industry works. Because people are wanting the virality, they want the hot moment, they want all the clicks, they want to get signed to the podcast network, all those big things, all very well and good, but you have to start somewhere. Yes. And then you have to commit to it. And I think the stats are crazy. It's like, even most people that start a podcast, they'll get to 10 episodes and then they'll quit. So if you think about that, if you're the person that gets to 100 episodes, of course you're going to find more momentum. Of course you're going to find more audience members. Like, it's just such a natural, time is a beautiful thing. So I try to find a balance. I'm an executor, but then I try to be patient in my creativity and in my big projects.
I also think there's a piece in there about just being in your own lane.
Very true.
Like, not just staying in your lane, but like being in your own lane and not having those blinders on and just being focused on your path and not being worried about this is kind of like what we were talking about, what other people are getting brand deals, what other people are getting sponsors. It's like, for me with this pod, something I've said is I'll have very high profile guests. I'm not trying to create any viral moments.
Right.
I'm not trying to do any gotchas.
Yeah.
Or like, make someone slip up or anything just to get the views. Like, it's not my vibe.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to have just authentic, natural conversations and give people who might not otherwise have a platform as well to just come on and tell their story and have a nice conversation that might inform other people and and give them something to listen to that's of value, or maybe not. Like that's kind of my thing, you know?
But I agree, like giving people a place to chat. And you also never know what will hit. Like hilariously, that clip of you and I went like mega viral
my God,
talking
I
about
know.
Tate McRae, which is so funny. And also that is a moment that in theory was kind of like a throwaway for us. We were just in the middle of another random conversation and it was such a throwaway, and then we didn't even plan to talk about it. It happened organically. It was just through our hilarious interaction that the internet was like, yeah, we love it. And I think those are the moments that is worth fighting for. Because it's just like, it's just fun. It's natural. It's happening by accident.
That that one went super viral. On this podcast, I mean, viral for me is like one is different than viral for you. Right now, you've been in the game longer.
No,
but one of my clips that has gone viral for me is Sangeeta Patel talking about her cancer diagnosis. And my producer Ryan and I, when we were looking at the clips, like, you know, you're supposed to kind of keep the clips a certain length. And I was like, we kind of just got to let this one ride out because we're not going to clip up someone talking about their cancer story. Diagnosis, right? And that one resonated so much with so many people.
Yeah, and you just never know. You really never know.
That's why you just got to go with what feels right.
Totally.
And what's authentic.
The gift of the internet. You just throw things at the wall and see what sticks.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, on that topic, I mean, talk about the industry. You're someone who, despite being so young, is so experienced in this industry, has so much knowledge. And what do you think has changed in the time you've been in the game?
I mean, in fairness, a lot has changed. Like, I think it's a very different industry now than it was 10 years ago when I got started specifically more in the digital media space. Yeah. I mean, it's quite funny. Like 10 years ago, it really was the Wild West. I continue to say that it's the Wild West just because things are not regulated. And listen, it's kind of an issue with this industry. Like there's not a lot of rules and regulations. AI. I've thought about this a lot too, like from an acting background, because when I was a kid, everything was so regimented and regulated. Like if I was on set and I needed a break on set, they'd be like, here's a 30-minute break and she needs to go 10-1 and she needs to go to school for 3 hours and she needs to have a snack at this time. And then you come 1,000% because that's how you protect actors and people in the entertainment industry is by having these rules and these unions. And so I've always kind of taken an interesting angle on the influencer side of things because yes, I believe in capitalism and like get your bag, but it is interesting that we have no barrier to entry. Like there's no barrier. People are like, I could be charging $100, I could be charging $100,000. There's literally an insane range and you can just throw things at a wall and see what sticks. And that is problematic on the other side of the industry when you're dealing with brands and you're dealing with PR agencies that are looking for concrete answers. They're looking for KPIs. They're looking for ROI. They have like real things that they have to deliver back to their brands. So the fact that this industry is so dysregulated is problematic. But that being said, I've kind of gone through the changes of that. Like I've seen it where it was crazy and I was doing back-end PayPal deals in like 2014 and just getting like $500 to like post a Hollister jean. And then obviously I've seen it now where it's like become a lot more corporate and like I read 20-page contracts when I'm doing like really high-end, deals and things like that. So I have seen the dynamics change, but I've always been grateful to learn at my own expense and slowly. Meaning like it's okay if the mistakes have happened because it wasn't fully in front of the world. Like, I mean, I keep bringing up this Alex drama, but it's because like when you go through issues like that on a scale where there's 10 million people watching you, like that's a very different scale than if you're just slowly growing your business and tens of thousand people see your missteps or your problems. So I've just been grateful that like, I started out young. When I graduated university, I took all the business in myself. I didn't want a manager. I wanted to manage everything. So I've just learned as I've gone and been patient through the process.
And that's actually a testament to you, on the big things, being patient and letting them play out. For sure. And you also have an opportunity to make those mistakes.
Absolutely.
And kind of learn as you go. Whereas kind of these overnight celebrities with the Alex and Alex thing, it's like, I mean, Alex Cooper's kind of an icon. Like she has built what she has built with Unwell is, I can't stop thinking about it. Like it's kind of my Roman Empire lately.
I agree. I actually just believe they both deserve their flowers. And I think this is a deeper issue in culture that other women feel they have to tear down other women. Even the fact that Alex felt she had to go online to like talk about someone that I believe she was in a mentorship position to Alex Earl. So this is such a problematic thing to see as someone that believes in media, someone that believes in influencer culture, someone that believes in like women supporting women. It's difficult to watch, honestly.
And like how everyone has to choose a side. It's like, why? We also don't even know what happened.
Right. And I guess my hope is that I hope things all come out in the wash and we as like, you know, audience members get a story delivered to us. But ultimately at the end of the day, this isn't hurting either of them. All PR is good PR.
Totally. Well, that's the
You're
thing.
nobody till you're talked about.
It's so true. And I mean, one of the most interesting things about this, not scandal, but this kind of drama is how I feel like the audience is so clocked in on PR stunts now.
Yeah.
No one is getting away with PR stunts.
Well,
and
I think
don't
people were thinking like, hey, is this a stunt? Is
yeah,
this a
well,
stunt?
that's everyone was like, and so I don't think it is. And they've said that it's not.
Right.
But the fact that people were so
adamant
on it should be a warning sign,
Yeah.
I think, to a lot of creators and publicists and stuff, because it's just the audience is something I have said so many times to some of my friends who are creators. And I said this on your podcast, you do an amazing job of this, but like your followers are not dumb.
Yeah, people know. Like people know what's up. And the reality is, I think there's also times in people's careers, and like I can even be honest about this too. It's like there's times in your career where like you know you're misstepping, but you're like, like you either can't get around it or you accept a deal that isn't maybe not the perfect fit or like whatever it might be. And I think that comes more when you're first getting started, because I think it's difficult. I think it's difficult on the ego when you're first getting started to understand like how to say no to things and like really be selective with your brand partners. And like you said, be really clear about who you are as a brand. Of course, it's easy to sit now 10 years later and be like, yeah, I've got it all figured out. But it's like, I didn't 10 years ago. And the influencers that are getting started now need to know that like, you're okay to like it's okay to like make a few missteps along the way. Like that is very natural.
And like own it.
Exactly.
You have to own it in this day and age too. It's just
transparency and just being like, I'm so sorry. Let me try this one again.
Totally. Well, and I said this to you as well, but I think your brand partners and who you choose to collaborate with, I think now that you're so far along in this career, you have the privilege of being able to be really thoughtful about who you collaborate with. And that's why it resonates so much. Like I've never, I mean, first of all, there are ad regulations on what you do for paid promotion, and things are it's always going to be clear if something's an ad, but it's the way you present that ad
for sure
to make it natural. Like I think you do a really great job of that. All your brand partners, I think, make so much sense for you and your audience and just your lifestyle. But I feel like there's a piece of, for some people who are maybe starting out in the game, where they're just like, any money is good money.
I know.
And I get it.
I do get it.
Like you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, when I first started, I think my first deal was like a Mate Fit, like protein ad. Like it was not giving highbrow. And like now I get to work with like the Disneys, the Hulus, the Smashboxes, the like now I get to work with like global iconic brands. And like I'm very grateful to be in that camp. But yeah, it did not start out that way.
What do you think, like, you, like I said before, have built such an exceptional personal brand. What was there a moment in time where you were like, this is clicking? Like, I know what to do. I know how to do this.
Yes. And part of it was being really diverse in my content. Like I got to a point in university where I remember at the time it was like a really odd time in the industry because this was coming out of the blogger era.
Okay.
So a lot of really successful people in that moment only had like, I mean, they had Instagram, but they had blogs.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
And the blogs were like a hit because people would go to like laurenconrad.com and you'd scroll and you'd get a recipe and then you would get her like favorite denim and then you would get her hairstyle. And I remember as a consumer really loving that, being like, oh, I love that I can go to one place and get a bunch of everything.
Yeah.
And the trend at the time on Instagram was to niche down. Everyone was like, I'm going to be a beauty influencer. I'm going to be a fitness influencer. I'm going to be a chef or whatever, like cooking influencer. And I don't know, something just like went off in my head and I was like, what if I could do all of it?
All the things.
Like, what if I can talk about a mascara, but then also be at a Raptors game, but then also talk about my outfits from Revolve, but then also
vitamins,
drink beer.
Right.
Like, honestly, like I was like, because that's who I am as a person anyways, and that is my life. So I'd rather like reflect that fully. And what I think that allowed from a brand building perspective, but also from a business, for my own business building perspective, was it opened up so many more doors to opportunities.
Yeah.
Because brands were no longer putting me in a small little profile. They were like, oh, she's like kind of a media personality, but then she's kind of also talking about fashion, but she's kind of talking about lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that was like the moment, I think, and that was like an early onset where it kind of clicked for me. But then even as the years have gone on, I feel like I've refined that even better. So yeah, now I feel really happy about like how diverse but clear my brand is.
You're like in the groove.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What do you think? I mean, like you said, you've been in the industry since you were 12.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm thinking back to when I was 12, and it's like you can't really even think about what your mindset was back then.
Yeah.
But talk about confidence.
Yes.
You are, at least from the outside, incredibly confident. You glow with confidence. So talk about, that experience.
Yeah, I am very grateful. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know. I do believe confidence can be a learned sport. Like, I think you can learn confidence. I will say, though, I love the lights. I love the camera. I love the pizzazz. I kind of always have. My mom tells a story where I was like 2 years old looking in the mirror and I'm like dancing and I'm like, look at me. Like, I think I've just always had that innate feeling of being comfortable being seen, which a lot of people are not.
Totally.
And I respect that completely. It's come very naturally to me. And there's moments in my life where I've shied away from it and I've been more insular or I've been more kind of to myself and closed off, and then it never feels right. And then I kind of do the self-work and then I'm like, no, I'm back at it.
Yeah, back on the game.
So yeah, it's not like I've ever had like dips in my actual confidence. I feel like I've kind of always just been like, I am who I am, take it or leave it. Yeah. But I do feel that I've refined my confidence to be able to help me as a businesswoman and also help me as a podcast host and help me as a presenter and a red carpet interviewer. Like, those are things that I continue to refine and work on because I think that that's how you get better.
Totally.
So I guess that's not really an answer, but it sort of is.
No,
like, I've always been confident, but I still continue to refine it.
You're working on it always, and in all the different ways you need to be.
Yeah.
I feel like there's also a piece of things where it's like you kind of have to not care, which sounds so counteractive,
100%.
but like, I mean, talk about the comments.
Totally.
I like, okay, what? I'm like 1/24th of like what you do on a global scale.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I get one mean comment and I'm like,
it is hard.
Ouch.
The thing about the trolls though, like I just had a viral video from Coachella, and this is part of it. I think you just have to either completely remove yourself from the comments in the sense of like, just know the video's doing well and be like,
just don't look.
That's it. Like, I don't have to go read through 500 comments that are going to be people like talking shit, for lack of a better word.
Totally.
But then there's a whole other side of it, which this is the part where you have to get to this place in order to want to be in this career, is that you have to let it be there and you have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it's only helping your page grow. It's only bringing more eyeballs to your face, to your brand, to who you are. And as long as the actual content is not hurting anyone's feelings and like done in good spirit and like is meant to be lighthearted and fun, then like you have to remember intent. And as long as your intent was pure, I've never had a video go viral where I was like, my intent was misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Like, no. It's like people are mad that I got too much access at Coachella. It's like, okay, get mad.
Okay,
like,
totally.
I don't have anything to say about that.
Let me like publish an apology video for
I'm so sorry that I had so many wristbands that you're all pissed off about.
Right. It's
when
like,
meanwhile I was just
sue me.
Yeah, like I was just like having a good time and wanted to share. Like, but it's not that deep.
You're so right too, because it's like you're fighting a losing battle if you're going to be constantly like in the comment section.
And
like,
I don't respond, by the way. I'm not one of those people that like, if something is like truly, truly hurting my feelings, I would maybe go in and delete it. But otherwise I would just
Someone said to me under one of my TikToks, why am I both annoyed and attracted at the same time? And I was like, I'll take that. I was like,
this is a compliment.
I kind of think it's like sometimes funny to like be like, okay.
It definitely is. Like, and that's the thing, like some people will comment on my TikTok a lot being like, get a radio show, but like they mean it in a rude way. And I'm like, okay, I will, babe. Yeah. Like I'm like, no sweat.
Like,
they're like, you
do
sound like a radio.
Yeah,
I know. I'm like, tune into my weekly podcast.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, everyone gets pulled apart for random things about themselves. It's like there's really not much I can do about it. This is the industry I've signed up for. And my favorite quote, a la Jason Bateman, is it doesn't say asshole on the checks.
No,
so,
totally.
There you go.
It's so true.
Party on.
And also I'm like we said, all PR is good PR.
All PR is
They're
good PR.
talking, you're winning.
Yeah.
I love that. In Good Company is brought to you in partnership with Kits Eye Care, a beloved Canadian brand out of Vancouver, BC. I am currently obsessed with the Lefty glasses from Kits. They offer prescriptions, they direct bill your insurance, they ship faster than any eyewear company I've ever witnessed, and they offer your contact lenses, sunglasses, eyeglasses, whatever you need. Thank you, Kits. Check them out. I want to know, I mean, you also are so authentic. We've touched on this. You're very authentic. Has there ever been a time where you've been like, okay, I'm being a little fake?
I mean, I think there's times when I've been like filming videos and stuff where like, when you have those like mid-filming crash outs, like you're like recording and then you're like, and then you like don't believe yourself and then you're like, oh my God, like I'm crashing out. And then you pause and then you try again and then you can't get the words out. I've definitely had my fair share of those moments just over the years, of course, like with the amount I film and with the amount I have cameras on me. I don't know. I think I've gotten better also at being more myself on camera. Like I think I've talked about this a bit on my pod, but like being someone that was media trained for a lot of my life, I think that there is a fine tuning that can happen when you're really aware that eyes are on you. And sometimes it's hard to shine fully as like who you are, whether that means like I'm a bit more cheeky or if I'm like swearing or like just being more me in theory of like how my friends would perceive me or like my family. But because I'm so like refined sometimes online, I can see maybe that disconnect, which I've tried to like work on.
Yeah, it's like not intentional too.
It's definitely not intentional.
You need to like break it down to think about you're an actress.
Yes.
And like
that's the other hard part is like when brands try to feed me scripts, I'm like, this is a bad idea because I'm just gonna be acting. But I think that everyone's gonna have their own relationship with that. You and I have discussed this even too, is like Gen Z is almost too open the other way. Like I feel like they have no filter. They have like
I agree.
No sense of media training. And I'm like, okay, well, that also doesn't work. So maybe there's somewhere in between the millennial spirit and the Gen Z spirit where we can meet somewhere in between.
We need to blend. We need to put them in the blender.
We need to blend like the scripted world with like the, the Gen Z cray cray.
Have you ever, I mean, you talk about this birthday crash out.
Yeah.
But that's a great example as an answer to this question. But is there any other example of you just feeling like an enormous amount of pressure with your job?
Sometimes I would say every January. Like I find January, I've done a big reframe the last couple of years of like using January as a great like pillar month just to figure out what I'm passionate about and where I see my next year. Because I think that in previous young years, I would see January as this like daunting mountain of like, oh, Jesus Christ, the QuickBooks resets to 0 and off we go again on this horse race. And that's like a bit daunting as an entrepreneur. And so now I reframe and I'm like, January is my manifestation month. January is for me. I usually take a really slow month. I travel. I'll go be in warm weather. I'll just like, and it's honestly the one time
writing that down.
Yeah, literally.
Like, take January as
genuinely, and it's the one time of year that the entertainment industry truly slows down.
Right.
So I've just decided, hey, let's not look at that month as like, oh my God, I'm unemployed. Nobody's calling. Nobody's texting. I just say, hey, take January because guess what? June, July, August, you're gonna be
nuts,
dead.
Totally.
So enjoy it while you have the time. So those are like the small little like reframes I've tried to work on as just someone in that like entrepreneurial spirit over the last decade.
I love that. It's so crazy too, for me coming from a corporate like 9-to-5 job to then entrepreneur. Like one thing that I say a lot is I'm like, no one's forcing me to work.
Right.
Like I could get up and just not work and no one's like firing me or getting mad at me or calling me up. And it's kind of scary, but also like exciting at the same time. It's like being your own boss is very empowering.
It is.
And it's like every day can be different.
100%. You do have to care deeply though. Like I think about this industry and when I think about the longevity that I've had, I think a lot of it has only come from being good to work with. I'm not the most talented in the room. I never have been. There's people that are far better filmmakers, shooters, hosts, everything. But no, I know not a lot of people are as professional as me and will hit deadlines like me or respond to emails late at night or make sure that a project gets off the ground. And if it doesn't work, how can we fix it on the back end and do more and make sure that clients are feeling truly satisfied? And like that's the stuff that keeps you busy and employed is being great.
You are a consummate professional.
Thank you.
For sure. Even in PR, when I was in the PR world working with you, that was always the word on the street for Torri Webster. But it's so true.
You.
And I mean, even me, I've been an entrepreneur now for a year.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I never anticipated this dichotomy of searching for new business while also satisfying your current business.
Yes, very true.
Like, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Like, remember who is paying your bills is the people that are signed on to work with you.
It's true.
So when you're hot to trot to get new clients and everything, it's hard. It's hard to balance that.
It's true. And your reputation especially in the creative industries, really follows you. Like, no, I mean, this is every industry, but people talk. And like, especially in PR, especially in communications, marketing, digital media, like these are very small, tight-knit industries. Everybody knows everybody. And yeah, if you rub people the wrong way, or you're lackluster when it comes to like delivering your content, or you just are a diva and like show up with bad energy on a brand event or brand shoot, like that stuff follows you.
Yeah.
And the reality is brands have a lot of people to choose from. So they would just be like, hey,
We're
blacklist.
good.
And they
Yeah.
do have blacklists. I had them on my podcast. I was like, do
100%.
you have blacklists? They were like, absolutely.
One
I was
time-
like, yeah, I get it.
Early on in my career, we were running this event at TIFF, and we had a black binder of printed out pictures of
names.
people who
Yeah.
were not allowed to be at that party.
Yeah, I
Literally.
so believe that. Yeah,
It's like so wild, and I get it too. I'm like,
totally.
there's a reason that exists.
Boundaries. Mm-hmm.
I want to know about, we talked about a little bit about this on your podcast.
Yeah.
But about kind of our generation, let's call it, and how, like you said, we're kind of all the things all at once. What is the trend there?
Yeah,
how do we
like
build
being
on
the
that?
multi-hyphenate,
Yeah.
like doing it all. I mean, listen, I don't know what the next steps are, because ultimately now with AI, it's like if you're not a multi-hyphenate, like then what? Like now, now more than ever, people need to be able to do more than one job.
Oh my God.
Like I'm like, you need to be editing, you need to be shooting. I mean, we're talking specifically social, but like you need to be offering me everything in one.
Yeah.
You want jack of all trades. Like that's genuinely the truth, because that's the way budgets are going, and that's the way even brands are hiring. Like it's very difficult. But yeah, I mean, I see it more in the millennial generation that, people are always willing to put themselves into a position to learn something new, which I really appreciate. I see it a bit less with Gen Z. Like I think Gen Z likes to put themselves in a bit of a box, and they're like, I'm an artist. And then they're like, they're just do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I could be wrong. Maybe that's a bit of a generalization, but it's just been the experience I've had with more young people is they're like, no, I just edit. And I'm like, really? Like you could pick up a camera, like we could,
should
play
try
around. Yeah.
You're like, my advice is test it out, because we're
Yeah.
going to need a lot of human ingenuity. In
Totally.
this next decade.
But yeah, maybe it's less of an age thing or a generational thing, and more of just a kind of a personality trait. Like I think entrepreneurs always have that energy to be like, hey, I want to, learn something new, take on a new craft. I mean, now with AI, like I'm trying to get as good at AI as I possibly can.
I'm like I need
lean
to go
in,
to
baby.
AI university.
Yeah.
And I do use it every single day.
Totally.
Multiple times a day. But it's like, I even still think that's not enough.
No, I know.
I
because
need AI to be like a limb on my body.
Well, because I think that's where we're heading. So if we start to, and listen, like this is such a hot topic. Like I think you could be pulled in so many different directions in this topic. But what I will say on it is, if it's a tool, which is what I hope it will be, then it allows our creativity to be even better. Or at least that's my hope. So my hope is that it doesn't necessarily, or I pray it doesn't take over all the creative jobs. But I am okay with leaning into it when it comes to it being a tool.
An asset, yes.
And an asset that we can then leverage to get projects off the ground faster and better.
Totally agree.
And cheaper, ultimately.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it is a great equalizer.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. In another vein, I mean, we were talking about the bloggers.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how like what's old is new again?
Yeah.
Think
Do you feel
about
like people are
Substack.
blogging again?
I feel like Substacks
Listen,
are a thing. I can't get into
Substack.
it.
Yeah. It's
I'm
not
also
my
like, I
personal
feel
fave.
like AI will just make you a whole Substack.
Well, this is what I'm worried about too, is if I'm tuning into that, is that just someone's ChatGPT writing out a couple paragraphs on their outfit they wore that weekend? I don't know. It doesn't fully resonate with me.
Yeah.
But that could just, again, be me. It could just totally be a taste thing.
Yeah.
And right now, I still prefer to consume like a TikTok or a reel or photos and things like that over a Substack.
People are complaining about my vocal fry. Like, get into this because I've got something going on. I'm like, what is this? Is this a sickness? No, it's not.
No,
like,
this is just me.
It's just my new voice. What is a moment in your career that comes to mind that really shaped you? I know you talked about when you felt like you were really getting into a groove, but was there one big win where you were like, shit, this is going well?
Yeah, and honestly, some of them aren't even that far away to think about. Like, I'll use a more recent example because I think that's more helpful. But I guess this was last year or 2 years ago. No, it must have been last year. I hosted an event for Netflix when the Outer Banks cast came to town. And I always use the saying, you can never get a date until you have another date. And I believe the same thing is true in business. You can never get a deal until you have another deal. And I think that brands don't have massive imaginations when it comes to casting if they haven't seen you in that role before.
Right.
So being able to have a giant like a Netflix believe in me and be like, here's a stage, here's a mic, here's your pop culture moment, do your thing, here's all the celebrities, here's all the cameras, here's all the press, and just really feel like they trusted me with that. Which, by the way, I had been like 10 years plus ready for that moment.
Right.
Like, I don't want
like
I don't want that to come across like, oh, I should have had that opportunity. It's like, well, yeah, I definitely worked for it.
Yes.
However, that being said, when the moment did arrive, I rose to the occasion. It went extremely well. And I think that was a great catalyst for a lot more of the hosting stuff that then I've been able to do over the past year.
Yeah.
Grow the podcast, all of those good things. Because really, sometimes it's just the one person believing in you, and then the other brands will be like, oh yeah, okay, see
They'll
that for her.
Clock into it.
Clock in, baby. Is this clocking to you?
It is, and it is clocking for you because those. I mean, you're in your hosting era.
Hosting era,
sure.
baby. I
and
know.
I love that for you.
And part of that is like just positioning, right? Like just making sure that people see you that way.
Totally. What advice do you have for like young people that look to Torri Webster and they're like, I want to be like Torri Webster, or I want to do this?
Get into it because you love it.
Yeah.
Like genuinely love it. Not like I want to make money and travel and have fun.
Yeah.
Because this is a very exhausting job, emotionally exhausting. It's a lot on the body, like honestly, truly a lot on the body. Like you're traveling a lot, you're just on the go. It's a lot on your nervous system because it's a lot of high performing, big energy moments that you have to kind of deliver for. Not saying I'm Miley Cyrus or a pop star by any means, but it's like small scale, you know, like you're just kind of like always activated. And yeah, that can take a toll over a long period of time. So you have to love it. Like for me, I still wake up and I'm like overly excited. I'm like, it's Monday. Okay, it's a fresh week. Let's get it. Like I'm so excited. But if I didn't love it, like that's where the burnout starts to kick in.
And it's not going to resonate.
Well, and it doesn't resonate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, what a waste of time.
Yeah. Like my advice would be like genuinely be nice to people. Do the damn job. Like that first and foremost. Do the job. Like if you are hired for something, do it and do it well and deliver.
That is such good advice, by the way.
And just execute.
And advice people need to hear.
Yeah.
Like I need to hear that.
Yeah. Do the job.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get called back. And my goal always is a repeat customer. It has nothing to do with a client being like, oh, we love Torri. It's like, no, we love Torri so much, we're calling her again next month. We love Torri so much, we're going to fly her here. We love Torri so much that we're like, that is always my goal. It's not about the one-off.
The only thing better than a contract is a renewal.
Yes,
you
baby.
know? Like, let's go.
Love to hear it.
I also feel like it's like, I mean, I hope this doesn't sound like Michaela Noguera of like try being an influencer for a day, but like I tried to film a day in my life. I'm like doing that today. Like I'm filming a day in my life.
How's it going?
Why is it like the hardest thing I've ever done? It's just like,
guys,
and I
content
don't
is not easy.
Look, okay, I'm ready for the comments to be like, you suck and you're a privileged asshole, like shut up. Why is it so hard? Like it really is. Okay, no, it's not like incredibly hard, but it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Whenever people are like, oh, she's just an influencer, my line is, then you try.
Yeah.
And that's always it,
honestly.
because I'd love to see other people go on the back end and see how time consuming editing is, playing with all the footage. God, storing footage, that's a whole conversation nobody ever talks about. That is a whole job, man. Producer storage,
Ryan's nodding his head.
Content storage, huge issue. Investing in gear. I mean, listen, the list goes on and on and on. Investing in wardrobe, investing in travel, literally just anything.
And also being female on top of that.
Oh my God. Investing in outfits, having glam teams. Like there's so many hidden fees associated to being in this world. And yes, brands will like hide it and be like, here's your fee, or here, come on this press trip. And it's like, do you know how many like random expenses go along with that? It's like, okay, well, I still need to like pay for my water at the airport and like somehow service. And it adds up so quick. And then when you ever go through those expenses, you're like, whoa, I get ripped off a lot.
That's why
I
feel
I need to invoice
I
some
like
people.
Barely broke even.
Yeah, I'm like, how did I go on this press trip but I'm out money? This doesn't make a lot of sense.
I feel like it's a testament to like, yes, what an amazing and great privilege it is to have that job, but also it is a lot of hard work.
For sure.
And it's like, I feel like
it is also our job to make it look easy, by the way.
Yeah, of course. And totally.
Which is...
It's an escape for a lot of people.
And which that part I totally get why everyday audiences don't understand what we do because they're just like, what do you mean? I just watched a 30-second video of you, vlogging your day. But then meanwhile, they don't see the fact that you have like 4 cameras set up and lights shining on us and we've got mics that like nobody sees the details. They just see the final product. And that's a lot of this industry. It's very like smoke and mirrors, right? So I do get the perception.
And we've talked about Canada being kind of a small community, which I have had a lot of affection for lately.
Yeah.
Like I love our small little PR marketing community.
Me too.
I also think there needs to be a lot more work put into it and investment into it
Totally.
and grow the country and replicate what's in the US a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about comparison to either other creators or other entrepreneurs, where I know we talked about how we have to kind of stay in our own lane and do our thing, but have you ever been like, this person's getting this, and this, like, why can't I get that? Or
yes, for sure. I think that the US is a great place to look for inspiration, actually. I definitely took inspiration from different New York influencers when it came to building out my podcast. I think that they're in a great position in the US because their opportunities just genuinely are bigger.
Endless,
and endless. And even when I'm at Coachella or I'm at certain US brand events, it just
different
is
game.
A different scale. It just is. I will say energetically, and not to be like witchy woo-woo, but like energetically, the vibes are definitely off. Like people are like maybe more desperate, or maybe there's like less, I don't know, support, like genuine support, because it is sort of dog eat dog.
Yeah.
And I get it. Business is business. Like I'm not discrediting that. But what I really appreciate about Canada is that, like I said, like I think if you ask for a hand, like someone will give it to you. And like I'll definitely take inspiration from creators that I think are either doing it really well, or I don't know, like for me, it's more strategic, like from I'll be like, oh, what did they do to get from like point A to point B? Right. Less about like a content style or trying to emulate someone's
like
vibe.
A specific deal.
Yeah, like I'm not about that thing because I'm just like, I'm me, I'm in my lane, like I'm going to do me. But from a strategy standpoint,
you're like, whoa,
I'm
how did
interested.
They take it from there
Yeah,
to
like
there?
I'll be like, okay, like I see how that has kind of like led them here, whether that's like using different editing styles or kind of different hooks or whatever like is grabbing people. And I'll be like, okay, that's interesting. And I'll take note of that. But for the most part, like you always know your own like creative flow. You kind of know where you're heading. You have to trust your own gut there and be like, what's pushing me? What's driving me? Where am I feeling fulfilled? What is my audience actually resonating with?
Yeah.
And like the more you actually can shut out the noise on the outside, usually the better your own content gets. And that's the truth. Like sometimes when I'm feeling not creative, I just actually step away from the internet and I'm like, go outside, legit touch grass, do some other things. And then I'm always
trying to walk outside without my music on.
Oh yeah.
And like experience the sounds of the city and
like
the world.
Actually hug a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's true. It makes all the difference because I think it just gets you ruminating. And like they say boredom and creativity have an amazing tie. So it's okay to be bored. It might bring you to a fresh new idea.
Totally.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for?
Well, when is this coming out?
Probably in a couple weeks.
Okay. So yeah, the news will be out by that point. So I just signed my podcast with iHeartRadio.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
So I'm most excited about that news. And yeah, just kind of finding a home for the pod. And like, I went into the podcast with that intention. So to like, again, we've kind of talked about all of this coming full circle, but like to be able to now have the moment where I'm like, yes, like this is what I wanted. I wanted to be a part of a network and get access to like really high-end talent and all that good stuff. So I'm tap on back. Proud
Congratulations.
Of
That's huge news.
Yeah, very
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do some rapid fire to close it out.
Yes, love it.
Coffee order.
Okay, I'm an Americano misto with whole milk because I'm a cow milk drinker.
Yeah.
And cinnamon powder.
Love that. What favorite show you're watching right now?
I'm watching Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV.
Yes.
John Hamm, love him. I'm also watching DTF St. Louis.
Okay.
I love Jason Bateman. I've mentioned him twice on this pod, so I think that shows my love for him.
My mom has like a huge crush on him. Yeah. Sometimes it's like weird. I'm like,
the best.
Another creator you love?
I'll say my friend, Jacqueline Forbes.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are like such a cool duo. I love to see when you're together.
BFF.
I've called the show In Good Company. What does being in good company mean to you?
In good company to me means being with people I'm inspired by, being with people I trust to say nice things about me when I'm not around, and inspired to be a better version of myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that was amazing. Thank you so much,
Well, that was
Torri.
great. Jay, thank you. This was so fun.
So great to have you on. We did both pods.
Yeah, it was like flow state for us. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Amazing.